It's now time.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
This is special surprise.
Oh, this is the surprise.
Special surprise
I didn't
number
know what the
one.
surprise was. I just didn't
We
know it was the
have
surprise.
Dun. Dingman's movie review. That's right. Paul Dingman did a movie review this week, not Storm.
My whole world is turning upside down. Oh no.
He reviewed Star Wars Episode 3. This has been in the works. This thing where Dingman was doing the movie review for like a year. It's gonna be awesome. Maybe. We'll see.
I'm not really sure that I'm the one who's qualified to do a review of Revenge of the Sith. Until Storm bought me a ticket for this movie, I didn't even know the Sith was angry. But one thing's for certain, George Lucas has done his thing to merge together movie 2 with movie 4, create the character of George Lucas, satisfy the dyed-in-the-wool Star Wars fans, and use every effect that Hollywood has for sale. He really has to do that, because some young upstart could come along and knock him off his throne, and we wouldn't want to see that happen to old George, would we? Well, in terms of plot twists, I would say don't look for any. You know what's going to happen in this movie. I can't really ruin it for you because you already know what will happen. I can tell you about how it happens. But speaking of plot twists, let me run you this clip.
Hi.
Who are you?
Barf.
Not in here, mister. This is a Mercedes.
Nah, that's my name. Barf.
Barf? What are you?
I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
I'm sorry to do that to you, but I couldn't really show you too much from Revenge of the Sith without ruining it for you. So let's talk about humor. I think you're going to want to get yourself the large popcorn so you'll have something to hurl into after you've seen one too many cutesy robot scenes. George Lucas has forgotten that humans can inject humor into a movie. He's forgotten about his disastrous experience with Jar Jar Binks. Even subhuman characters like Chewbacca have a better time injecting humor into a movie than the robots do. Let's take a look at this next film clip, which illustrates that fact. And how about that Darth Vader as a character? I think he should get more widely used. I mean, I would like to see him around the Thanksgiving dinner table. Would you like a little more mashed potatoes and gravy, Darth? Darth, how are things going with you up on that Death Star? I told you not to talk about my work over the holidays. Or Darth Vader dating, which you can do because he's widowed in this movie. Heather, your date is here. We seem like a nice enough boy. I can't agree with that outfit that he's wearing. Does he always bring that orchestra with him? No, Dad. Sometimes he just brings a cello. Well, one thing is for certain. George Lucas has finished his six-pack of films, and now I'm ready to go finish the six-pack. You'll see me patting myself on the back next year. Till then, have a nice summer.
That whole clip thing was totally Premiere's fault.
No, that was planned. That was showing that black screens are not very funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
So,
possible.
But in the meantime, surprise number 2, Words of Wisdom with Storm Dain.
You totally couldn't have figured that out
It was
for
a
our last
switcheroo.
surprise.
Switcheroo.
Never would have figured that out.
It's exciting.
You're smart.
All right,
like
let's
that.
go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Okay,
go.
we're
Let's go.
And now, Words of Wisdom with Storm Dain.
Well, hello everybody. Lately I've been in the OTB office under a ton of mail, and most of the letters I can resolve right now. The answer is yes, Martha Ann Dow was involved with a terrible algae accident about 15 years ago, but only suffered minor hair loss. But I did find a winner. This week's letter comes from a Felipe Lockenstock of Hemorrhage Grove, Nova Scotia. He writes, Dear Mr. Dain, my day is riddled with boredom because I am unemployed. I applied for the production manager job of OTB recently and lost the position to a guy who actually enjoys the Matrix trilogy. The new director told me that I avoided conflict too much and lacked leadership skills. I proceeded to tell him to kiss off, and I couldn't understand what he's saying because his audio sucks. Lately, I've watched the After Dinner Show religiously, and I'm willing to donate my relief checks to OTB to better your cause. What can I do to acquire leadership skills, Mr. Dain? P.S. Can I please get an autographed picture of Sheri Culbertson? Oh, I'm sorry, Felipe. The only way that we can let that happen is if you let her cut your hair. Anyway, you want to acquire leadership skills. Well, that's very honorable, Felipe, but I think that'll take too many steps. What we need to do for you is to give you some skills on faking it. First of all, I'd get a girlfriend who is in a position of power. I'd suggest the lady who gives out free samples at the supermarket, because I think that any woman that can get everybody to eat meatballs filled with rat hair has a lot of power. Anyway, you want to let her exert her influence on you, and pretty soon she'll be in control of everybody you know. I bet she could teach that new director a lesson or two. Next, you know about the strategy of keeping books around your house that just makes you seem smarter. I got one for you. Programming Windows by Charles Petzold. And I gotta say, any book that lets the author shamelessly plug his own picture on the front is one that you should have. Now, I wouldn't actually suggest using this book because we all know the old saying, you don't program Windows, Windows programs you. Now, you mentioned that you were unemployed. We can fix this problem rather quick by starting your own business. And I'd say one that you can do is a tow truck business. Now, why a tow truck business, you say? That's because it's the easiest business to advertise. All you have to do is go around to a bunch of apartments and put your poster in illegal parking spaces. I have actually made one for you. What you want to do is have a nice threatening comment up here and then have your tow truck name, Felipe's Towing. I think it has a nice ring to it. And you can end with a nice little jingle. When you really screw up, call Felipe's Tow Truck. Now, this is actually the intellectual property of me, but I will let you have it for the low, low price of 10 food stamps. You also mentioned that you avoid conflict. Now, Felipe, this just won't do. What we need you to do is start conflict. Now, this is rather easy to do, and it gives even you the fake sense of having leadership skills. It'll also get you chicks. So the next time that a person comes up to you and says, "What time is it?" you can respond with, "Oh yeah, well, Timothy Dalton was the best James Bond." I'm sure that'll cause a lot of controversy. Now, last is using words that nobody knows. I really like this. I even got a list here for you. Up at the top we have skeefer. This is actually an Old English word. It refers to a rash caused by guacamole poisoning. Next, funambulance. You don't hear this one too much nowadays. It's actually a emergency care vehicle for clowns. Now, use it in a sentence. Gone are the fine days of quality funambulance service. And last, my personal favorite, This is a noun. It is the space between the dryer and the wall. And the only reason why it has its own word is because it's the only place where you can lose your socks and just not care to look for them. Well, anyway, Felipe, I hope that I could have helped you out. And everybody else, well, you'll just have to suck it up over the summer. And I'll see you next fall, doing what I do best, watch movies for free. Oh yeah, and Timothy Dalton was the best James Bond.
This has been Words of Wisdom with Storm Dain.
All right, that was awesome, Storm. You rule.